So the largest tax cut in U.S. history has just been signed, and most people don't even realize what this entails. Now, we have some big news that just came out that President Trump is going to send letters to 12 different countries in the next couple of days. This is all regarding tariffs. This is major news. What we have just heard over the past really 72 hours, past 3 days, is groundbreaking. And I say this because what President Trump was able to sign yesterday on July 4th, 2025, his one big beautiful bill, when he signed that into law, that is the largest tax cut in American history, according to many experts. But what does this mean? Well, this likely means we are headed towards no more taxes. Okay? President Trump made it very clear. He wants to move away from the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, and move towards the ERS, the External Revenue Service, meaning we are taxing other countries, not the American people. Keep in mind a couple of the provisions inside of the one big beautiful bill. One is no tax on tips, and the other is no tax on overtime income. He also provided $6,000 in extension or an enhancement to the senior standard deduction. Okay, so that's big news there. And again, I bring all this up because a lot of people are wondering, well, what does this mean for the future? What this means is President Trump was somewhat right so far that yes, we could potentially be headed towards no federal income tax in the future, but it's highly unlikely it's going to happen during President Trump's term, which means the next president, the next administration would have to continue with this plan. Whether or not this works or not, I don't know. But that is what we are hearing, is that yes, this could be successful, but it's not going to happen in the next 3 years. This is something that's going to take time, and here's the reason why. President Trump cut taxes, and he cut taxes to more, the higher income earners. If you are making very little money, you're a low income earner, there's a very good chance you're not going to get a lot out of this one big beautiful bill. If anything, you may see your benefits get cut, simply because of Medicaid and SNAP benefits. But if you are a middle income earner, a high income earner, you're a millionaire, a billionaire, you're a large corporation, you're going to see your taxes get cut. You're going to see additional tax breaks. Think about this, for instance. Okay, there's no tax on tips, no tax on overtime income. There's a $1,000 baby investment, the Trump baby investment. So if you have a baby in 2025, I believe, or 2026, or actually over the next 3 years, 4 years, you're going to get a $1,000 investment from the federal government. Yeah. You can also, friends, family, parents can do $5,000 into child investment accounts. And that's going to be tax deferred or tax free, something like that. Have to look into that a little bit more. There's a child tax credit increase. If this bill wasn't signed, it was going to go back from $2,000 back down to $1,000. Well, essentially this went up $200, so now it's $2,200, and that's a permanent tax increase, and it's going to be indexed with inflation. So that's big news there. We're going to see, if you want to go and buy an American-made car, the interest on that is going to be, you get a tax break on that as well. So that's good. But again, I bring all this up because it looks like, and I said this before, President Trump is trying to do things to test the waters and see how does the United States do if we don't bring in more tax revenue, because that's what Democrats want. That's what some people want, is let's increase our tax revenue. But how do we do that? Well, we tax more income so we can we increase our tax rates. Well, guess what? Trump's the extension of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act didn't increase taxes, didn't increase our tax rates. It keeps them the same. But some are saying this could be a plan for the future to actually lower the tax rate by just 1% to 2%. Because guess what? President Trump, he said that he is going to have answers as to the tariffs that the United States is going to impose on other countries. He's going to have those answers this coming week, because the 90-day tariff pause that President Trump put into place 80 some days ago, this expires on July 9th. Again, today is July 5th, so we have 4 days. President Trump just said that on Monday, so in 2 days, he is going to send letters to 12 different countries to pretty much tell them what their tariff is going to be. It's not going to be a negotiation. He's just going to tell them what it's going to be. Now, I find this interesting, and the reason why is because we have seen the tariff income here in the United States. It's been slowly going up. We aren't seeing inflation. And this is what many people were concerned with, is that tariffs are inflationary, that the American people are going to be paying more. Well, guess what's happening? That the American people are not paying 30 and 40% more for certain products. No, we're paying less than 20%. And again, is less than 20%, are we going to see the benefit of this tax cut? Yeah, that's what experts are telling us. So again, I bring this to your attention because we are hearing that this is the largest tax cut in American history. And this may be working. We could see more people get hit with additional tax breaks. No tax on tips, no tax on income, but only for certain amounts. Okay, only for people that make up to a certain amount of money. That could actually go away. We could see no taxes on other income as well. We could see no income tax for teachers. We could see no income tax for first responders. We could see no income tax for healthcare workers. You want to know a way to get more people into an industry? You take away or you pretty much eliminate taxes and say, okay, instead of you paying 30% because you're in a higher tax bracket, we are just going to eliminate it. And so you make more money. How great would that be? Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So again, I've seen so many different reports over the past 6 months, some of which I brought to your attention, others that I've kind of swept under the rug for a little bit. This is one of those reports that President Trump there's multiple people that are urging him to do no income tax on a certain group of people, on lower income Americans. And it could work. Okay, it could work, but he has to impose the taxes, the tariffs on other countries first. According to the reports that I've read, according to a few private conversations I've had as well, that yes, that is part of the plan, is that we can impose these tariffs of 10, 20, 30% on other countries. And as they start to come through, as we start to increase our tax revenue, then we will move away from the Internal Revenue Service, and it will only be the external revenue that we are collecting. So this could be great news for millions of people, but this also means we are going to see tariffs over the next week or two. So as we get more information as to what the tariffs are going to look like, how they're going to impact potentially millions and millions of people, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get them. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.